Hey everybody, it is Prince's Friend, and I am back with the second review for our Ladies of Prince Week. This time I have Vanity's second album from 1986 called Skin on Skin. Now after her first album, Vanity appeared in a movie called The Last Dragon. It's pretty much one of my favorite movies of all time. And I don't want to hear any arguments from anybody, I don't care what you think, it's an amazing movie. But anyway, she played the love interest in it. The momentum from her appearance in that movie was supposed to help launch this album. Vanity's first album was a moderate success, but it wasn't anything close to what they were really hoping for. So they decided that they were going to bring in a few writers to help her on this one. Of course, due to her rampant drug use around this time, Vanity ended up with pretty much zero input on any of the writing on this album. That spells volumes to me, and maybe why it just didn't resonate with me. So let's get into the tracks, and you can tell me what you think.
You got me under the
So Under the Influence is a mid-tempo groove about falling in love so hard that you'll do just about anything for the other person, like you're under the influence of their love. Corny, but poppy. Starting out already, you can hear that the music and melody is already more cohesive and has kind of a better groove than her first album. Vanity also sounds like she has more control over her voice in this track than on her previous album, making it a really nice listen. It hit number 9 on the US R&B charts and number 6 on the US dance charts, so both really respectable numbers. So lyrically, Manhunt is a song that's actually a lot of fun. She's on the hunt for a man, so she's talking a lot about setting traps and eating them alive. Great imagery, and I think it fits the theme of the album. However, her voice really isn't that great. It kind of goes in and out of sounding good, and musically this song is really keyboard heavy. It's a fun listen, but you know, it's just kind of just okay. So this isn't a bad song, but I can't say it's really a great one either. It's honestly just kind of boring. It starts off slow and remains slow, staying in its lane like I say all the time. It doesn't really attempt anything new or different throughout the track. Vanity's voice is low and computerized, but it's often drowned out by the music. So I feel musically there's some interesting sounds and melodies here, but overall I think this one was a miss. So this was actually the first track that had a little bit of funk to it. It's 80s electronic funk, but it's funk nonetheless. It's a song about trying to find time with a guy by himself because he's always hanging out with his friends. The problem is that you really wouldn't get that without reading the lyrics, because whatever they did to her voice on this track makes it really hard to understand her. I don't think it's a bad song overall, though.
We're like animals when we make love. Like animals, we just can't get enough. We're like animals when we make love. Like animals, there ain't no stopping us. You know it.
So this song starts off the second side of the record, and it feels like it could have been off of Controversy. It actually sounds a lot like Jack You Off specifically. It's a pretty darn good song, and it actually was one of the singles, but it failed to chart, which I was actually really surprised at. It's about, you know, how you're animals when you make love. One thing I'm noticing is that this album isn't as sexual as the previous one. This one's more about love and fun and not sex and getting dirty. So it kind of starts to feel like it's not really Vanity at all.
Clinging to your body, moving to your rhythm, loving how it's feeling here in your arms. Ooh, just one skin. Reaching for the warmth of your hand and the cool.
So on this title track, we get a good beat, and Vanity's voice actually really fits the music. It's really 80s, but actually it's kind of 80s like in the best kind of way. I feel like it takes you back to that time in a way. And there's a few more sexual things in this song, like the line "raging like a river." The guitar accents are pretty good in the background, but I keep waiting for it to take center stage and do some awesome solo. The guitar just never gets there. So this song is somewhere in the middle for me. Good, but I don't think it really reached how great it could be.
Too afraid to tangle. Maybe you could change my mind. I'd like to try.
So this song is pretty un-Vanity. It's about basically playing hard to get, which is not what I come to Vanity for. They get into it, and then at the last minute she goes, "Oh, I'm gum shy. Maybe you can change my mind." The song itself is fine, but again, I'm left feeling like this isn't the Vanity that I signed up for.
You make me want to say, ouch! You make me want to say, every time I feel the need to hold someone real close, I think about my fantasy and head for you. When you kiss me, when you love me, when you make
And then
me
this
crazy.
song, Ouch, reminds me of when you get an Unbridled Vanity. Her voice is all over the place on the track. It's actually pretty funky, but it just doesn't feel cohesive, kind of the issue that I had with a lot of the tracks on her first album. We can't really blame her for this one though, because remember, she didn't write any of these songs. I think this is as good a time as any to point out that out of the 13 songwriters that were kind of spread over the whole album, they were all men. So maybe part of it was that we weren't getting a woman's point of view on these tracks, maybe. I don't know, that's just a thought there. And then we get to In the Jungle, which is the finale. And musically, this song is on point. It's got a good beat, it's got great sound effects, and the keyboards are really good. The song feels like it's kind of a Lionel Richie song. But here's the thing. Vanity doesn't have Lionel Richie's voice to pull it off. It also doesn't really feel like a good song to end on. It's definitely not epic enough. I would have moved maybe Skin to Skin, the title track, to the end here to help balance out the album and end it on a higher note. But there you go. So in conclusion, my biggest complaint about this album is that everything sounds very samey. If you compare each individual track, yes, they're obviously different songs, but I think it was on my third playthrough. I hit play on this, and then the album was just over, and I didn't even get that it had switched tracks or anything, because it all just felt the same. To some, that might be a plus. But for me, I like variety, I like different sounds and tempos and genres on my albums, and that just didn't do it for me. Even though I had problems with her first album, I think it had a lot more personality and character. It felt like Vanity. Skin on Skin just feels like, we have to get a hit, we have to get a hit, now make Vanity sing these words or she's fired. And even though the songs are good, it actually just kind of makes me feel uncomfortable listening to it. So what did you think of Vanity's Skin on Skin? Let me know down in the comments, and let me know what your favorite track is. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and support the channel at patreon.com/princessfriend, and may you live to see the dawn.